So I don't know what. We're back. So, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute. I gotta laugh because, dang, how did we meet?
Here.
Was it
We
here?
met here.
Yeah, it was.
Right, because I
Yeah,
got
we were
side,
side by side.
right side by side, that's right.
And I was peeking over there.
Right.
I was like, oh, kept peeking.
We said yes one time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
everything is interesting because, wow.
And that's been about 4 years now.
Is it four?
It's
No,
been-
I've only been here
You've
two.
been here too?
Yeah, it'd be 3 May.
Okay, about 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I know I started over there.
Yeah.
When we were doing this, that's when we started selling. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you
right,
was here
something.
before me, yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yes, good.
So, how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. You know, trying to keep busy, but I've been good. You know, this year has been really busy, but a good busy. You know, I
Right.
left my corporate America job
Mm-hmm.
about 18 months ago, and I went into motivational speaking. So, you know, building that business, it's been really good. And then I'm working on my nonprofit. It's keeping me quite busy.
Ah, oh, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is. Word on the street is you running for governor. You the one that hit that $50 million lottery.
No.
Oh, wrong guy.
Wrong
I'm
guy.
sorry. I thought you was the one with those 4 Bentleys in it.
No.
6%. No?
No.
Dang.
Not me.
Okay. But you do have a nonprofit
I do.
and you have books.
I have books. I do.
Ah,
So let's start with the nonprofit.
yes.
My nonprofit is Men with Vision. We've been around since 2012, which when we formulated it. Men with Vision is a nonprofit organization with two missions: to lead men to God or lead men back to God. Because I'm an ordained minister, and we're really concerned about the state of manhood. So we do that by hosting workshops. You know, we have spiritual sessions. You know, I'm putting together right now a men's mentoring session. So we do a variety of things, really trying to reach men to help men get back to where we believe they're supposed to be at. But we've had a lot of bad publicity in the past couple of years as men. We have.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have. And
Now,
some of us deserve. Okay, I'm not going to say this now. Some of us been deserved. But at the end of the day, like my mission is to really restore the reputation of men right
now, when you say men,
now. Mm-hmm.
are you speaking men as a whole, or particular? Or is there a particular race
I'm speaking men as a whole.
as a whole?
As a whole, men as a whole. You know, I'm always concerned about black men. So let me be honest. You know, I'm always concerned about the state of black men, and it's something that we focus a lot on. But I'm concerned about men as a whole.
Men as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, men. That's a Jerry episode. You know what? Because I am neutral when it comes to the men.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually me and my fiance, we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
yesterday being in abusive situations,
Right.
relationships, and I'm a stickler on men not hitting females. Period.
Right. Got you. I'm with you.
But
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I despise females that put men in that situation, meaning,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Stop standing in front of the door.
Right.
Stop poking him in the forehead. Stop throwing stuff at him because he's not supposed to hit you.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't mean you're supposed to hit him.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to agitate and irritate somebody
Right.
just because then when he turns around and pops the crap out of you,
Mm-hmm.
now you want to play victim.
Exactly right.
And then who goes to jail?
He does.
He does.
But people do not educate their daughters for that.
Right.
And I've had this conversation numerous times. I don't believe in hitting women, period.
Right.
I believe if the argument gets intense, I need to leave. But you need to let me leave.
Right.
That's the thing. Don't stand in my way. Don't keep pushing. Don't get up in my face, poking me in my head. Because now you're aggravating me now.
Right.
And I think people are only human, only going to take so much of that. I'm never justifying a man putting his hands on a woman. I just don't believe in it. I wasn't raised that way. But to your point, I say exactly what you're saying. So it can be a double-edged sword there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it always turns out bad for us.
Yeah, it does.
No matter how it works, it always turns out bad for us.
It does. And that's kind of sad because we as females always say there's no real good men out here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they are.
There are, exactly.
You're just finding the wrong ones in your circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you do get the right one, you're not appreciating them because
Exactly.
So what do you want?
Right. My stand is, and my part, we talk about those all the time. It's hard to understand what it's like to be a man, especially a black man, unless you are a man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make any excuses for trifling men. I don't. But the notion that there are no good men out here is so far from the truth is not even funny.
Right.
But I don't think people really understand the challenges that we face, especially as a black man. We don't get treated fairly in the workplace. There's always a target on our back in our neighborhoods and with the police. There's so many things fighting against us that we have to deal with every day. That it's a constant struggle and a constant burden. So therefore, we are under pressure. And then on top of it, as men, typically, we don't talk. We've been taught not to talk, especially back when we don't talk. We internalize everything, try to handle it ourselves, which is why we need women here much earlier in life. Because we die a whole lot quicker.
You know what? I've done many shows.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my latest ones was on mental.
Okay.
And the young lady was, what we agreed on is that within the black community,
right.
It's always instilled in us that what goes in this house stays in this house.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the extra stigma that comes along with a black male, quote unquote, is of course you don't talk about it.
Right, exactly.
But then you don't talk about it because not just because it's supposed to stay in the house, but men don't do that.
Right.
Men don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking. So now I'm chopping you down completely because I want to smother your feelings.
Right.
So I want you to be strong, but how are you supposed to be strong? You know how to be weak.
But that's how we've been taught since day one.
Right.
Men are supposed to be strong. They tell little boys don't cry, man up, toughen it up, don't say your feelings. All that stuff has been bringing us for so long. And I have to say that I'm really happy with some of the younger men, the millennial generation coming on now, that are not buying today. They are more expressive in their feelings. They're not falling to the status quo that men should be this and men should be that. But men should act this way and men should act that way. And I'm really happy to see them do that. I think they're going to produce a lot better, more positive men in that respect. They'll be willing to open and talk more as time goes by. But my thing has always been, to get back to the men, I'm going to take this to a place that most people don't really want to go to. I'm going to take this to a biblical perspective. Because women are always saying, here's how Earth was created. God created Adam, he created Eve to be the helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to help us, don't dog us. And I say that to women, if you're not going to lift us up and encourage us to be our support and be our helpmate, then don't dog us. Because at the end of the day, even the good men find themselves being dogged by women. All the stuff that I've seen in the media the past couple of years about men do this, men do that, men do this, men do that, but it never says what women do.
Right.
It never says that. It's always the man, the man, the man, the man. But the reality is it takes two people to tango. If you hook up with a brother and somewhere after 2 or 3 months and you've done things with this brother, but he hasn't shown you anything to make him deserve it, why are you still there? We talk about how men abuse women, we don't commit to them, but there are signs you need to be watching out for right from the beginning. You can't put all the blame on us.
Well, you know what? We can't put the blame. I'm trying to stay on this thing. It took me a very long time, when I say very, years, to say I am no longer the victim.
Okay, right.
I was in some very bad abusive relationships to where I always see it was them, and it wasn't.
Right, definitely.
But let me stop playing the victim because not one of them put a gun in my head, made me stay, held me down, held me hostage.
Right.
I stayed because out of free will.
Exactly.
So I can't no longer blame them when I played a role. Exactly. Now my role might not have been poking in the forehead, but I stayed, which made I played a role.
You allowed the behavior to continue, and see, you have to show people how you want to be treated.
Right.
And you have to start showing that early on because most people, if you give them an inch, they're going to take their whole mile. And I had to learn this. I've been in enough relationships, friendships, and all, and taken advantage of to know. I had to get to the point myself and know it's enough. It's nobody's fault but my own. You know, we have to get there. But we can't constantly put all the blame on the man. So men of vision, we're really trying to restore men and say, hey, let's be honest, guys. We've done some things. Yes, we have. You talk about all the scandal that's going on. You talk about the abuse that they're talking about men, raping the women and all that kind of stuff that's been talked all over for the past couple of years in Hollywood. Okay, we got it. Let's face it, it has happened or has not happened. But at the end of the day, it's time to move on. See, I don't think that we ever get a chance to let us just move on. We want men to say, okay, you know what, we've done some wrong. We'll accept what we've done, but we need to go ahead and move past it. But it's not every man. One of my big slogans is it's not all men, because it's not. It's not all men. But we put all men into one category, and there we are. And now what we're doing is we're teaching when you keep constantly calling a child's father no good, you're doing damage there. Because now you're showing that child how to disrespect their father. You're showing that son what his mother thinks of men. And now you're inbreeding in him that he's no good. What we always say, you're just like your no good daddy. You're inbreeding that into that child.
Again, I am not bashing women, but I am a stickler on that. As God, I don't know how many times I talk about that.
Right.
I despise. I was always told, or always made to believe that you don't have to speak. They will see.
Right.
You don't have to talk bad about the father or the mother, because that child will grow up and will see.
Yes.
What I don't understand is why females have this thing that I love you. You my boo, my baby.
Right.
I'm like, that's the death part. We had that baby.
Right.
You just said to the death do us part.
Right, exactly.
Forever. No, it's until you piss me off.
That's right, exactly.
And then now that he decided, or for whatever reason, the thing is, when he got with somebody as a female, if he got with somebody before you did, that really pisses off.
Right, exactly.
I don't want my child now, the one that you see from sun up to sundown, you no longer want him to see his child.
Right, exactly.
That child is not yours.
That's right, exactly. It's both of y'all.
Both of y'all.
But society has set it up that the child is the woman's. And now you're holding this child hostage.
So I don't want you to see my child.
I don't want to see my child.
You can't give me no money. Oh, I don't want you to see. I don't want that child around that now.
Right.
Now, granted, if that female is the nastiest, dirtiest, something.
Right.
I got you.
I'm with you, exactly.
But don't not let him see his child because you don't like the fact that you and him are not in a relationship.
Right, exactly.
Because what's going to happen is, what happens when you get in a relationship?
Exactly, right.
So why is it that this new man can see your child, but he can't see his child?
Remember, he left you. He didn't leave the child.
He didn't leave the child.
Then if you're forcing him and not letting him see his child, you're putting him in a bad bind. And as far as the child is concerned, he's not coming to see him, which is not always the case. You're not letting him.
Right. It's not.
It's growing up without a father. I don't know. I've never met my natural father. I don't know who he is or nothing. But it's one of those things I had to work through. And to be honest, I still work through. There's a part of me I know nothing about. So I'm very sensitive to that. You do that to a child, boy child or girl child, you've done some damage to that child. You really have, because their self-esteem is impacted, their self-worth is impacted, because they don't know. Fathers like mothers, we think that mothers are more important. We've been taught to believe that, but it's not true. Both parents are important.
Both parents, especially now.
Right, exactly.
Fathers are essential in children's lives.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go back.
Okay.
And I'm going to come forward.
Okay.
But let me go back.
Sure.
Mother's Day. The hottest topic. Oh, Mother's Day. I can't wait. It's Mother's Day. Get party.
Right.
Then come Father's Day. I got females talking about, I'm the mother and the father. When did you get a penis?
Right, exactly.
What do you know about saying
right.
You're not a man. No, you can never tell. Here's the thing. I can teach my son how to respect a woman.
Right, exactly.
But I can never tell him what it's like to be a man.
That's right.
I don't even know what it's like to be. I don't have
Just stop.
Testosterone. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I don't know what it's like to get an erection.
Right.
So how am I going to tell? Why is it on Father's Day I'm going to sit there and tell my mother and father? No, you're not.
Exactly.
You're not. So what is your male name?
Right.
So I already know what your female name is. So what's your male name?
Exactly.
No, you're not.
You're
And
not.
so you're trying to take the title from both. I get the father. Okay, granted, you got the father's where he's not involved.
Right.
I got
right.
that.
I got that.
Okay,
Exactly.
but you're still
But
not
you're
the
still
father.
not the father.
You never been
You never go to bed. We encourage women that are in that position where the father's not involved. Maybe the father's deceased. Maybe the father's incarcerated, or the father's just not around.
Mm-hmm.
Find your son a male figure that he can respond to and talk to, and that man can impart into him. Because as young men, as boys, we need a male role model.
Right.
We need somebody that we can look up to, somebody that can talk to us, guide us, tell us those things that only a man can tell us. But a woman cannot raise a male child to be a man. We can't teach them how to be a man. You just can't. I admire women who raise children by themselves. I respect that. But you can't do that.
You can't.
And that's the biggest myth out there, which goes back. So let's step back 2 paces.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day, Father's Day. Mother's Day, biggest thing out there. You know, you cannot get into a restaurant on Mother's Day. Everything is crowded. But Father's Day, you'll have no problem getting to a restaurant. You know, most of the times, if we get a gift, it's a tie or something, there's such a disparity on the way men are treated and the way that women are treated. And it goes back to the idea that men are less or that we deserve less. But that's not true. If we're going to fix the issues that are going on in this world, it is our belief in Men Vision that we have really got to do all that we can do to restore our men, especially our black men, to where they need to be at. You know, there's been so much coming against us, so many negative thoughts, so many negative words. Regardless of what we have done, it is time for us to restore men and have respect for men like we have the respect for women. And that's not what's happening right now. So that's why Men with Vision are so adamant about reaching out to men, encouraging men, supporting men, providing services to men, providing a place where men can get together and talk and really just connect with one another. Because we need to connect with each other. We can't help anybody as men until we help ourselves.
Right.
Here's the real deal. We can't. Until we get together as a community of men and say, hey, it's time for us to connect. Let's do some things together. Let's work on ourselves. Then we can fix the problems and, you know, address the problems in this world. I believe that there are certain things that only God will move until men get together. Because it's power that we need. I'm not knocking women. I'm not saying that women are powerful. I'm not knocking any woman. I respect women. Go ahead and get yours. But don't get yours at the expense of knocking down men.
Right.
Okay, don't do that, because that's not fair. You know, I have no problem. If I ever get married and she makes more money than I do, I'm good with that. As long as we're sharing the money, I'm good with that. I don't have that. It took me a long time to get there.
Right.
I don't have that kind of ego. But the problem is that for men, the one thing I say all the time, if we don't bring back our spirituality, our relationship with God, we have a problem. Remember, Adam walked in the garden with God.
Yeah.
He walked with them. They were like this. They were like this. And so therefore, we walked away so far. And, you know, and I did this message a couple of years ago called This Doesn't Matter. And what it says to men, it doesn't really matter what we've done. If we take it to God and ask for repentance and forgive us, He will forgive us. But I think as men, we've gotten to the point to think that we've done so many negative things that God will not forgive us. But that's not the truth.
It's not the truth.
It's not.
Now, these men, like, where are these men, like, where do they come from? Meaning, you know, like, what is their background? You know, are they broken up inside? Are they mentally, physically abused? Are they lost souls? You know.
Well, you have to address every man as an individual, because we all have different things going on. You've got some men who've been abused as children. You know, we've got some men who were abandoned as children, have got low self-esteem. We've got the men who've been incarcerated, which is a whole nother ballgame all by itself. You know, because now you've got to change their mindset to help them see value in themselves. And then we've got successful men out on the outside, but still messed up on the inside. So it's a variety of different men and situations that we try to address.
Now, how often is this meeting?
Well, we're having right now, we have a workshop next month. We had this huge workshop. Our theme for 2020 is moving forward. And we're having a workshop on January the 25th. It's called Moving Forward. I've got 4 phenomenal speakers. My partner is going to give a spiritual message. My good friend Michael Smee Robinson from Temple University, he's going to talk about moving forward in your career. Damian Wesley, credit repairman, he's going to talk about moving forward in your finances, getting your credit correct. And my friend Jeffrey Romulus, I know who you're from with, he's going to come talk about moving forward after incarceration.
Oh.
So that's how we're doing that. That's how the conference is going to be, the workshop is going to be. And the great thing about it, it's free.
Oh.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free. I'm going to tag you the post, the flyers out here. It's free. We just want men to come and, engage with each other. We're also doing something new next month. We're recognizing a different man every Monday on Facebook. We're asking for nominations. Just send us the name of a man who's doing phenomenal things, whether he's been a great father, great businessman, whatever he's doing. Just send us the name, and we'll pick a name every Monday. And then, once a year, we didn't do it this year. We do our Men of Vision, Man of Vision Award ceremony, where we honor 10 men who are doing phenomenal things in the community. So,
what? Why you?
Because God told me to.
And you can't disobey him.
Can't disobey him. God gave me this vision for Men of Vision a few years ago. Every time you wrestle, I'm like, okay, I'm wrestling with this, I'm wrestling with this. And I talked to my pastor about it, because I don't really do too many things without talking to him first. My pastor and I are very close. He's my father, my spiritual guide, but to me, he's like a father to me.
Right.
So I had this conversation with him. So he said, wait a minute, I think you should wait a while, because I was in minister training class.
Okay.
He said, let's just focus on that. I'm fine. But then after that was done, and I was ordained a minister, the Lord started coming back to me with this again. I'm like, here we go again. So I went back and we talked about it again. He said, no, I think it's good. I think you move forward. So that's how I got it. I'm a product of a broken man. I was a broken man. Broken. Messed up in the head. Just didn't know where I was going. Working, but just so damaged on the inside. I was abused, sexually abused at the age of 13. I didn't tell anybody until I was like in my 40s. So my behavior, which I realize now, was a result of that.
Right.
So I refuse to not try to help men through every situation.
And yesterday, now I had TV on. Like this sometimes when I'm at home, I have to just have something in my ear.
Okay.
This one particular time, I was just too lazy to turn the gospel on.
Okay.
Normally I put Pandora and let it play, but
Right.
the TV was on while I was eating, and done eating, now I'm ready to do my work.
Right.
I just had to change the channel.
Okay.
My first time watching Sister Circle, only because he comes and like, what's this? This is Sister Circle. And I'm looking for the name, like, I don't know.
Right.
So we're watching it, and they're, all the ladies talking about stuff, and he was like, why don't y'all have no men show? See, because like, why they ain't have no show?
Right.
Why have a men show? And I'm thinking, like, okay, well, they're gonna have a men show. But in here, I wasn't, in hindsight, I didn't even put the two together, that you already have a men's
I do.
show.
Our show airs typically every Tuesday, but we've been on hiatus. The past couple of months have just been so crazy. I'm very busy at the church.
Right.
And on top of that, I'm trying to start a side business where I make money from. I need to make a living. So between doing those things, but the Lord stopped me a couple of months ago and said, I need you to focus on Men of Vision. I'm like, okay, I hear you. Got you. So that's what I'm doing. So we're coming back on the air. I was supposed to come back on Tuesday. Actually, shoot me, but I have a board meeting on Tuesday that I have to be at on tomorrow.
You hear on my show.
But we're definitely going to keep our show, because our show, the amazing thing about, we changed the name of our show. It was called A Day in the Life for Men. It's just called Men of Vision now. But the amazing thing about our show is we have a huge female following. Huge. And they, because they say to us, you tell us about things about our husbands or sons and nephews that we don't understand. Right. One lady told me, she said, you know what, Tom? My husband started his own business. He kept asking me to help, and I kept telling him, no. I'm not listening to your show about supporting your husband. I repented, and I know you're supposed to.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not married.
Okay.
Not yet.
Right. Right.
I get the part where, you know, it's no longer a single thing. The man is the head of household.
Mm-hmm.
And I, always tell people, even if you don't see the vision. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to see a vision.
Right. Exactly.
But in a marriage is something different than a relationship.
Right.
Even if you don't see it, you're still supposed to support it.
That's right.
And keep what you don't feel is right to an extent.
Right. Exactly.
To yourself.
Right. Exactly.
I don't see your vision, but you don't tell them that. You're not going to succeed. You don't tell them that.
Right.
But you say the opposite, and then you pray on it. Okay, if he fails, cool.
Right. Exactly.
But you don't pat him on the shoulder. I don't need that.
Right. Exactly. And here's the good thing about being married, because God will give the vision to the man, but He will also give the woman insight. So therefore, when two become one, now if they're walking with God the way they're supposed to, He'll lay out the vision, but He'll be so open when she says, "Well, why don't we try to do this, or why don't we try it that way?" Because as long as we're getting support, 9 times out of 10 as men, we're willing to listen.
Right.
I think one of the things, this is nothing against black men and black women, but one of the things that we're softening up on a paycheck. So if your man says he wants to go out on his own, that's how are we gonna get money in this house? I'm not going to work and you around trying to make up some business. And I was like, say this, I'm going to get in trouble.
You want me to say it?
No, I'm saying, this is why we lose so many black men and white women. I knew I was going to make your face purple.
No, because I try not to drift off. So I'm going to stay with you. Like YouTube guy, Tommy Sotomayor.
Okay.
I'm going in watching YouTube because I was always told watch YouTube to see what they do.
Right.
So he kept popping up on my feed.
Right. Okay.
Let me see what this guy is.
Right.
I didn't like him.
Okay.
Because he demeans females, black females. He calls us every name's in the book. Yes. And his thing is, he's like the person whose spouse is fat.
Okay.
If I figure I keep saying how fat they are, they lose weight. No, all you're doing is making them cram more stuff down and blow up more.
Exactly.
But he had a way of talking bad that I literally had to listen to it.
Okay.
It made sense, but I didn't like how he said it.
Right.
There's a way to talk to us.
Right, exactly.
Without putting us down. And one of the things he said was what you said, that the way we come is a turnoff.
Right, exactly.
And I'm not saying that we push them too, because we can't push you anywhere.
Right, exactly.
But you help open up that door.
Do it right.
You help lead
exactly
that way.
Right.
So I did a couple of shows on some things, and one of the things I did was the lack of black love in the hood.
Okay.
And I had the men panel come on.
Okay.
To talk, why is it that when there's some sort of community involvement, some sort of a protest march, the rule of thumb was always the men led, the ladies were home with the babies.
Right.
Now this, if you do see some men, there's a few of them, but everything is women with the children,
right.
And there's some boys, some men.
Right.
But, and then I did another show with the ladies.
Okay.
So are we bitter or are we misunderstood? Because moving forward, there was within blocks of each other. There was first it was the white lady that walked by. I knew I could hear her,
right? But
I heard her quietly venting to somebody on the phone.
Okay.
And she was no louder than what she was in it. So I walked by her.
Right.
I get to the other one who just happens to be of color, and I heard her 2 blocks after passing her to whoever's out. It made me think of my topic, which made me think about Tommy, and I'm like, he was sort of kind of right. So I did that, and a few ladies said they would come, but only 2 came.
Okay.
State Rep Morgan Cephas and young lady Judge Ray Potts.
Okay.
They came, and we touched on, are black females bitter? Are we, or you just, maybe you just caught us on a bad day,
right,
maybe
exactly.
we're not those loud,
right, exactly.
Are we? But us 3 couldn't answer for the majority, but to put it out there that I don't think we are. I think we are misunderstood, but I do think there is some things hidden inside of us that we don't pay attention to.
Exactly. I don't think
we lash out on you.
Right. I don't think you're naturally bitter. I think you're made bitter. Because after a while, when the same thing happens over and over and over again, this is why, I'm sorry, why forgiveness is so key.
Mhm.
Because we hold on to this and this, I don't forgive you for you, I forgive you for me. So I can get on with my life.
Right.
You know, but if I dated three different women, or a woman dated three different men, and they all have not worked out well, she's becoming bitter now.
Mhm.
She's becoming bitter against men, you know, because she's saying she's leading on whatever the reason is. But you got to find a way to let that go. You know, that's
Mhm.
how I don't believe that women, I don't like this bitter black women, but there are some who are very bitter. But they're bitter
Right.
because of circumstances.
Right.
They don't become bitter just for the sake of being
I
bitter.
don't think we're bitter towards our men.
Mm-hmm.
Just your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of the things. So I think you know, we can talk about this all day.
Mhm.
We can talk, in different levels.
Right.
Me personally, I can't speak for all.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through some stuff,
Right.
but I don't blame every man, and
Exactly.
I don't hate every man.
Right.
I just hate the things they've done.
Exactly.
But it comes out to some like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so.
Mhm.
Maybe you're reading it wrong, but
Right.
I don't hate
Exactly
you.
right.
Just what I've been through hurt me some kind of way. And I think what happens is what some of our females have been through, it
Mhm.
turns us a different way.
That's
That
right.
when we meet this nice guy,
Right.
we got Mr. Thomas. Oh my God, he's such a, I can fall in love, but I can't because
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
have,
counting on his back.
I have, yeah.
I mean, I love Erica Badu's song "Bag Lady."
Oh
It
yeah.
is so
And I
phenomenal
think
because
we
it
listen
really
to it
talks
wrong.
about, we listen to it wrong. We do.
Yeah.
But like I said before, you know, those feelings, we have to find a way to. I don't believe that anybody in a guy relationship today should start dating somebody too much from now. You, and especially depending upon how the relationship ended, you need to take time to heal. If it end, now if it was a nice part, you know, like we worked together that long, okay, somebody comes along fine. But if that thing damaged you and hurt you, man or woman, we need to take time because what you're doing is you're bringing all that baggage, all that hurt and anger that other person had nothing to do with, you haven't gotten over yet, and now you're bringing it to another situation, and you're wondering why that one doesn't work out because you're doing the same thing, and everything that the other person was doing, you're accusing that person of doing. They may not be doing.
Been there, done it.
Right, exactly.
I would not lie.
Mhm.
I had the hardest time trying to let go. And the first thing I saw was that person doing the same thing. And I didn't even give you a chance.
Exactly.
I just put you in the same pot
Mhm.
with everybody else because they did it.
That's right.
But moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
how does the men get into your programs?
Sure. We have our website is down now, it's being redesigned.
Okay.
But I have an email, M_Mary _ WV as in Victor at Verizon.net.
Okay.
You can always reach out to me that way. I have a Facebook Men with Vision page, and I have a Facebook Men with Vision group. And I post on both of those just about every day.
Okay.
And then for people who know me, they can always reach out to me and call me and talk. Because what we're doing now is we're really gathering these mentors we have a mentoring program implemented for men from the ages of 25 up to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Because we believe that this age group is forgotten and we need mentoring. They need mentoring like everybody else does. So we're getting together a mentor for those. But that's how I can reach me. And the website will be redesigned. I'm hoping by the end of next month it'll be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's, what, men, there are a lot of resources out here for
Mhm.
men. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But it just seems like it's more or catered for women. I didn't pay any attention until I kept hearing
Mhm.
more than three say that everything, and I had to sit back and I'm like, well, dang, he actually is right.
Mhm.
Because it's women and children. And then if there is anything for a man, it's so far that,
Right.
it's like we don't really care about you.
Exactly.
It's not that we don't care about you. It's
Right.
it just seems like women speak up, like you
Mhm.
said, than the men do.
Right.
So you don't know you have an issue
Right,
until you
exactly.
speak up.
Right. And the hardest thing is reaching men. We have to be very strategic in how we reach men. That's why when I created the workshop, I didn't create the workshop as so much of a spiritual thing, although there's a spiritual aspect. I just want men to come, get a spiritual guidance, but get all the other things you need to do. Men are very, don't have to worry about it. But we just have to be very strategic on how we get men in because we don't trust.
Right.
We don't trust. But once you get men in and we build a bond, now we've got something going on. So we have to take steps. So we're taking these steps. Like I planned out our year for 2020. And we take these consistent strategic steps to bring together a group of men who will hopefully tell other men, who will hopefully tell other men. Because my goal is to have a huge men's prayer march or gathering next year.
That was nice.
That's my goal, to do it sometime in June or July of next year. But in order to do that, you got to build a foundation for it.
You got to build it. So shy of your event that you're having next month, what else? Because you got the Men in Vision.
Right, exactly.
Men with Vision. So is this preparing, restoration, and empowering?
Yes.
Ooh, child, boy. Yes. Boy, they got out to read. I love the I love the page. It's just one after sort of. I'm assuming that the faces are of various men.
Which page are you looking at?
Your Facebook page.
Oh yeah, there's been various events we've had on that logo on my graphic guy created.
I like it.
It was wonderful, yeah. So we posted various things that we've done. You know, our annual Man Awards ceremony is phenomenal. We have about 100 people every year.
Okay.
They come out and have a nice dinner, have a nice program, and then get an award. So it's really good. So we're looking forward to it. You know, sometimes you have to take a step back and regroup and rethink what you're doing. But when God tells you, you need to focus on that. You know, get that.
So what else should we expect besides January, Men with Vision? What else do you have going on for the men?
For the men, well, we're going to plan. The goal is to do something every month. So here's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm looking to do in February what is called a speed mentoring session. Something that's never been done before, so nobody copied it. Kind of like a speed dating.
Oh.
We're going to bring together 15 professional men and have other men come in and spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes just getting some quick mentoring advice for each man.
Okay.
Speed mentoring. Never been done.
Yeah.
You know, and then hopefully from there, they will connect with somebody, one of the mentors who wants to mentor them. So we're going to work on that. I just haven't had the, not that one, tomorrow.
We need more, it's kind of sad because we do need more help for our men.
We do.
The thing is, men have been told for so long that, you don't cry.
Right, exactly.
You're not supposed to reach out for help. You're supposed to be macho.
Right.
But how am I supposed to be macho when I'm hurting inside? And where am I supposed to go to get the help? Because you told me to bury it. Yeah, so I can't keep it for so long because then it explodes.
Exactly. And when it explodes, it always explodes the wrong way.
It explodes the wrong way. And then you wonder why I can't have a normal, decent relationship with this nice young lady. Or why I'm sitting here in jail because I exploded over something that really wasn't worth it. So our goal is to be doing something consistently every month because you have to be consistent with men. And once you see that consistency, they're more than willing to be a partaker. We're partnering with a couple of organizations that are going to help us along the way. So, we're not planning for 2020. I'm excited. I'm excited. But you excited because you gotta tag me.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I don't. Even though we're friends, I don't see everybody's stuff.
Yeah, that's the whole algorithm thing on Facebook is horrible right now. It is.
For whatever reason, it used to be I would see somebody for about a couple of months.
Right.
Then it went from a couple of months to a couple of weeks to a couple of days.
Right,
Then it was
exactly.
like, if I friend somebody, we're friends today, I don't see this stuff.
Oh yeah, you're right. Everybody's having that conversation.
Like, wow.
Something they've done to the algorithm. But I'll make sure I tag you and all the events coming up. And how about we talk about doing a joint show?
Okay.
Let's have a panel, bring some women on, bring a couple men on, and we'll sit there. We're going to do this next year. We'll take our time, talk about partner, and we're going to have some conversation. We did a show about a year or so ago, What Women Want. And we had two friends of mine, two female friends of mine.
Do we know what we want?
And it was an amazing show. I mean, the rest of the airwaves blew out, the comments were live. So I think it's time to revisit that again.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, so let's look at that.
Because I had a barbershop.
Okay.
I did one with the men, but I wanted to do one with the women, and I didn't do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. I want to do it. I talked to my barber about doing it. I live in Delaware, Phil's in Wilmington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm Miss Murray.
You're smart, right? The
Yeah.
bear running around Wilmington. I'm like, you're in the hood.
It was right in the last, on my way here, it was in, Charlie Square.
Okay,
It was
exactly.
in
Right.
Charlie Square.
And I was going to post something like, look, bear, I need a new coat. Don't be coming up here. But I know somebody we got offended.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, Peter. Oh, yeah. But yeah,
We should do that.
yeah, let's do that. I like
Yeah.
that.
But now, two things.
Sure.
Highlights,
Mm-hmm.
what we need to know about your event coming
Okay.
up,
Okay.
because it is free.
Yes, it is.
Is it just for men?
Yes, it is.
Dang,
It is just for men.
That sounds like a commercial.
It's-
Just for men.
Right, exactly. It's going to be at Oak Street Health, which is on 5050 Parkside Avenue. We're using the training facility there.
Okay.
It's on Saturday, July the 25th, from January 25th, from 9 to 1.
Okay.
Okay, we're looking to have a couple of extra really special things happen that they've been talking, confirm those. I can't say.
Okay.
Because the main coming is not there.
Right.
But we're looking to have a couple extra things going on that day. So we're very excited about that. It is free, but you do have to register.
Okay.
If you're on my page, there's a registration link that'll take you directly to Eventbrite. So you can register so we can have your name.
Okay.
So definitely send men. We're looking for, please nominate men. We're doing the men's recognition every month. Please nominate a man that we can put out there and blow up every Monday. And then follow us, coming up in, I think about August, when we do our Man of Vision Award ceremony.
Okay.
And, mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Something else?
And then, I'll post our speed mentoring day. So
Okay.
that'll get, but yeah, that's where we are right now.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
before you leave,
Yes.
I always ask my guests to
Mhm.
leave my audience with something positive for us to hear on.
Okay. Everything that you need to be successful is already inside of you. Everything. It's just that you have to believe it, you have to own it, and then you have to go for it. Stop letting people tell you what you can't do and start telling people what you are going to do. Because a lot of times we are holding ourselves back. Our vision, our destiny is not being fulfilled because we let people talk us out of it. Don't let nobody talk you out of what you believe you're called and destined to do.
Pretty much there's something wrong with stuff. I thank you for that word. I do. I appreciate you for the time coming in here.
Thank you for having me on. It's good seeing you again. It's been a while. When I saw you posted, like, I'm hitting her up right now. I'm actually free during that meeting tonight.
Yeah, I think you were supposed to come on.
Yeah, a couple, yeah, exactly.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
You're on.
I'm on,
That's all right,
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm back.
Yeah, you
I'm
back.
gonna do that partnership. We're gonna
You're
set
going to
that
be
up.
a partnership.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully they can get all that fixed up by.
Well, we're not there anymore. We're here. We've closed all that down. We're actually on this station now.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I haven't been here in a while.
Okay. We're all on one station now. So we're here.
So I can take live and direct off.
Mm-hmm. We're all here for
Sure.
the night. Yeah. We're now, there's nothing going on there.
Okay. Well, okay, don't be smoking. Okay.
Right.
Well, I came in, all this was here. And I'm like, okay, I saw it. But I was streaming outside of here, so.
Right.
But okay.
Okay.
So, I'm going to do the partner thing.
Right.
And you
I'll be
got
tagging you and everything.
okay.
Okay.
So I can share and promote. And
Right.
stuff and,
Exactly.
yeah. So, all right. So, thanks for coming.
So thank you so much. It's good seeing you again.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully in Delaware.
Yeah. Well, that's my move.
Right.
That's my next
Well,
move.
if they catch that bear, I'll text you later.
All right.